Like we should actually have a. There should be a wrestler on the roster that is an actual genuine coward. That when he is given opportunities and he is spooked, he just leaves.
Fucking wonderful.
Like, would that be? That would be the best fucking thing for Barry, wouldn't it? Like when you think about it, like Barry, like fucking gets his world championship opportunity. He gets bullied out of it and just does nothing about it. He'll just kind of like talk around it. Yeah, that could have been me, if I just like, worked a bit on it, or just, I was out politics, lads. That's what happened there, Like, I fucking love that. Like, that would be a wonderful character to have in a roster,
Yes, it would.
wouldn't it? Like, just completely subversive and just like get nothing but sympathy because, like, again, you get the sympathy for like, being a coward, but also being a fucking idiot at the same time. Like, you're covering both bases there, you know.
Uh,
Like I love that aspect of the BQ documentary was that like throughout all the actual like kind of like easy comedy bits as it were. Like there were actual like genuinely good little plot points as to why this match was happening to begin with. Because like many people, I was looking at this match going, I wouldn't have given Barry to I wouldn't have fed Barry to Moxley, I would have fed someone else. But then when you actually like you get the actual reasons why, it's like, Barry's being a fool here. Okay, and you can see the re oh he's trying to get this girlfriend back. Okay, that's I'm on board with this now. I can see why this is a match is happening.
fair.
You know. Again, it's one thing about Barry like Biko storylines is they're deceivingly engaging with in the story. Like there was such a deep mythos with the Biko character, you could practically write a book on it.
That's fair.
You know. So we've decided to abandon the spooky nonsense and just have a fight in the parking lot. Nothing more terrifying than that, guys. There, Kane. Look, it's about as garbage as your political views. Hup.
I do like the idea that Kane was there while Shelton drove in the fire truck. Be like, you like fire, bitch? Goes.
That was Shelton's fucking beer truck moment. There's a massive fire hydrant.
It'd be great.
This mean
Oh,
I'm also just trying to try out all the cars now to see what they actually do.
fair.
Of course, Kane like weighs a fucking metric ton, so whipping him like doesn't make a difference.
But it all fits the storyline. You have the fire truck for Kane. You have the hearse for the Undertaker.
Mhm.
Melina's involved. There's a garbage truck.
Well now, Jamie. Now there's no need for that. Now the spare tires are there for that purpose. Come on now. Actually, no. The spare tires would be Big Daddy V, wouldn't it? Be viscera. Like, look at all that extra rubber.
Oh, oh. They broke the glass. They broke the glass.
Just Goldberg ourselves into that fucking window. Is there a dumber mammal on this earth than Goldberg? Just, just
I
broadly
mean,
speaking, like
some would argue that getting paid the amount he got paid to do the amount of work he did, he was one of the
mm,
smarter ones.
I know, but like but my own like my thought process here is that like, this window isn't breaking. I know what I'll do. There, it's just like as opposed to like maybe just skip along.
Yeah.
And then I also can't get past the whole headbutting doors bit, to psych you up. Like,
Yeah. Nothing gets
I
you
don't
going
know.
like a concussion. Like,
Fucking yeah, exactly. Like, you know what really excites my morning? Grey brain matter. That's what really gets me up in the morning.
oh,
Like,
having a bit of a run in here.
oh yes, a bit of a cameo.
Just
But
glitched
the best is
through it.
like there was actually no reason for him to be there. He was just chilling. Like
Yep. Can I be in the Undertaker and Kane storyline too? No.
no. Do you know what? We'll call you. How about that? We'll let you know if we need you, just in case Randy's busy that weekend. All right, this is getting interesting.
Although I do like the idea that in the backstage brawl, Boogeyman is always just in that car waiting to do the cameo spot, including if he's in the match.
Oh, that would be funny, to be fair. Because you
And
already
yet,
had two
a
Boogeymen
very
this year as
Boogeyman
well.
thing, like
Yeah. Like we already had Edge dress up as a Boogeyman before in this
Oh,
year,
yeah.
so you know, not impossible, you know.
This has been quite the year.
It's been a year indeed. A year in the life of WWE.
Not the best one.
Choke slam on concrete would fucking suck.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly fatal. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Just about to think that, like, in the space of, like, say, 6 months in game, Shelton Benjamin will have gone from being bumped in the head by a wand to potentially world champion.
I mean, it kind of speaks volumes, really, doesn't it?
I don't think we need to discuss any more further terms on this. Props to Shelton Benjamin's resilience that a chokeslam couldn't knock him out, but a T-bone suplex could knock out Kane.
Hey,
Gotta hit him when it
that's how you
hurts.
finish her strong.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So now that with Kane out of the equation, now we can clearly save Melina. You know that was the whole point of the brawl, of course.
Where is she? Answer me, you sick freak!
What I'd be curious to find out is what happened if you're playing as Kane.
Well, I'm sure there'd be an alternate storyline if that was the case. I think this is the story that happens when you're on SmackDown. So with Kane being on Raw, I don't know if the trading happens or not for certain people.
Okay, fair enough.
I actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think the trade would happen anyway. So I think yeah, I actually don't know what would happen there. I just figured the storyline wouldn't happen; it'd just be a backup one.
Yeah, I presume they do. Like, because as well, what if you're playing as the Undertaker?
Yeah, exactly.
So someone else would be champion; they'd have a whole stand-in thing.
I remember one storyline that doesn't seem to have picked up is that there's a defector on the roster and ends up being Batista. So I think that's what's happening on the Raw side, I think, for WrestleMania. Hence why we have Kane kind of like, defecting to SmackDown here temporarily.
Okay,
I guess.
fair.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Bit of a trade. Jesus.
Show your face.
Oh.
Kane's calling out his own brother. It looks like a family feud to me, Taz.
Oh, there he is. Bing. How does he do that? Through the magic of post-production.
Finally, the great and powerful Undertaker makes his presence known. But where were you last week when I was ambushed in the parking lot? You stayed hidden, dear brother, like the coward that you are. Last week, I almost lost the one thing that I desire most in this world.
Because Lita was taken.
Lose her because of your cowardice, I'll take the one thing that you desire, the WWE title. There are definitely not a lot of guys who could call out the dead man.
Aha.
If anyone can, wait, what was this? What a daring rescue by the #1 contender.
And there was much rejoicing.
I've never seen Kane this enraged. Whoa, what the heck is going on?
As the chaste and virtuous Melina has finally been set free.
Yay! The story is happy end. That was the real prize all along, was making sure that Melina was safe. We don't need the World Championship at all. The moral victory is what matters.
To be fair, it did seem a little bit there like Shelton was going to be Zack Rydered out of this storyline, and Kane and Taker were going to Mania.
There has been a lot of that happening this year, hasn't it? So it's like we have been the other guy in the storyline. Like
Yeah.
we've been like we got like other guy out of the tag team fucking division 3 times. We were the other guy in the Fatal 4-Way. We were the other guy in the feud between Benoit and Taker. So
Very much
yeah,
so.
we have actually that has been our booking consistently all year, you know? Like we are like the nice guy like conundrum here. It's just like, oh, but like Shelton's so nice and he's a good worker. Let's put him in here. It's like, yeah, we put the title on him. No, we wouldn't. No. Just, like he's nice, but like no, I wouldn't. Like no, stop. So yeah, it looks like WrestleMania is now a triple threat. The Brothers of Destruction versus Shelton Benjamin.
For fuck's sake.
In Hell in a Cell.
Naturally.
Yeah. Because why fucking not at this stage?
Marvellous.
And of course, as what seems to be our go home to WrestleMania, we face Kane now again. Naturally, the parking lot brawl was, all to our advantage, but now in a standard wrestling match, Kane will clearly have the advantage, using his ring smarts to set everything on fire.
Does this mean over on Raw they've got HBK, Edge, and Batista in a triple threat?
I would assume so, yes. I don't know if they'd be like, again, I am not sure when the Batista defecting storyline is. I remember it being this game in 2007.
Oh,
I could be wrong. Could very well be next year. So if that's the case, spoilers. But I remember being this one. So if that's the case, then I say that could be just a storyline that's happening generally, like your standard issue SmackDown versus Raw storyline that they always tend to do around this time. So I suppose you want someone to slot in there, be Cena Batista possibly. I would say if there was anyone defecting from SmackDown to Raw, that'd be Orton. So you might get Orton, the HBK, Edge. I can't imagine them, like, even with the grace of gods, I couldn't imagine them doing 2 triple threat main events.
Fair.
But that's what they normally do, isn't it? They normally keep one single and like one like chicanery like that. Because like wasn't. Actually, come to think of it, they had a couple of WrestleManias where they did that. So if I'm thinking I'm using WrestleMania 2000 as a kind of like stop point for that, because there was only triple threats were quite a recent invention for WrestleMania. So
I don't know how long it's been since Shelton's been on Raw, but DX should firmly be a thing again by now.
Should be, but definitely not in game. Because like I said, the games are always developed like in the middle of the year. So it would have been released before the year it's kind of described as. Yeah. So it's like
yeah, but again, it would have been just after Mania 2006. Like they'll definitely be in the next game.
Oh, for sure, yeah, exactly. That'll be the DX era, which we'll get now. But yeah, that's the thing. It's kind of this kind of weird year count back that we're working on here, where like our wrestling brain is telling us, oh no, this happened in 2007.
Yeah.
Whereas in game we're like still working on 2006.
Fair.
Which is why the King Booker thing is kind of half-arsed in this game,
Fair. And Kurt Angle exists.
Kurt Angle exists, exactly. Yeah. he hasn't all perked out in TNA. He's perked out already, but you know what I mean.
Only in a Charmel regrettable promo kind of way.
Yeah, exactly. Lads, I mean, who amongst us?
Who proved it? Who proved
Yeah.
that?
I'll give you one guess, and he walks like his hips are fucking dislocated.
There's the submission hold. I've seen a lot of superstars tap out to this one, Cole.
Probably found it hilarious. Like that's the thing. Like any kind of promo like that happen, he's happy to just let them out because he just finds them funny. Like the man is like has a very odd, almost childlike sense of humor. You know, like he said before, his favorite movie is Something About Mary, and I guarantee it's probably just because of that scene where he's probably and apparently he finds like toilet humor to be like the height of comedy. Like he must think Terrence and Phillip are like fucking comedy geniuses. You know. Strange man.
Not your friend, buddy.
Excuse me, can I finish? Can I finish?
Okay, I'm finished.
Okay, finish.
I know we got his. Look at him. He's just radiating confidence, and he's got a lot to be confident about. Yeah, but he looks a little overconfident to me, Cole, and that could come back to bite him on a you know what. Man, his opponent looked like a punk with that.
What kind of weird misnomer this game as well, to kind of come to think of it, because we started off this kind of timeline, which would have been, I'm supposing, would be kind of technically Mania 17 and 18. Although, like, Construction Mode was over a 2-year kind of gap.
Yep.
So we technically did Mania 17 and 18. Which had like Eddie Guerrero like being world champion for about a year and like peaking at the right time in a sense. So we've always justified that like he never actually, died because he became world champion, he was able to kind of like peter off naturally, And considering that like in most of the games he is a legend in the game, you can unlock him and just put him into the roster. So like you could justifiably say, oh yeah, no, Eddie's around for like a special match here or there. Like there is no need for the Rey Mysterio push and all this sort of stuff, It's a completely different landscape because of it, you know?
Yep. Almost butterfly effecty.
Indeed, I was just about to say the same words, Jamie. Maybe one day we'll address that issue.
There does seem to be something very dark though about like what if X didn't die.
Yeah, but like it's almost like a certain like there is a literal butterfly effect to it because for something like Eddie's one, like how many other wrestlers would have been affected? Like who would have how long would he have stuck around? And more specifically, whose spot would he have been taken? Because he wouldn't have just knocked out like out of Ray's spot. Like he would have knocked out a couple of people's spots.
I'd always heard that the plan had been if he didn't die, he was going to Mania the following year to face Shawn Michaels.
And I would have fucking killed to see that match. That would have been brilliant.
Genuine dream match.
Yeah. But even small things have had to because if Eddie's still alive, it means we're getting Kerwin White in its full glory. Like even small stuff like that, like
I feel like that gimmick would have died one way or another now.
We would have had no Vicky Guerrero.
Most likely.
Like even small stuff like that wouldn't have it just wouldn't have happened. We probably would have got Eddie in the Indies. We could have seen him in TNA. Could have seen him in fucking doing other indie hits if he's decided he's done with WWE. Although at that stage, I think he probably would have been a lifer, But
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Depending on if he was to leave.
Yeah.
Batista would have had a fairly consistent push. They were heavily involved together.
Yeah.
Would Benoit have died?
Very, very good question.
Would that have played out entirely differently? That's grim. But
well, it's a very interesting premise. Like you wouldn't know because it's such a random act. Like it's erratic. You can't. As I say,
but also
can't legislate for that.
But also, a lot of people said that after the Eddie thing, that's when Benoit really went downhill.
Yeah,
because he'd lost that connection and whatnot.
Well, famously, he was writing letters to Eddie in his diary. Like he was probably pleading for him to come home and stuff like this. Like he was very morbid stuff, But but as I said, it was like he had undiagnosed dementia from all the head injuries, So, but as you said, would he have kept going at the same intensity if Eddie was around? Probably yes. But the catalyst for what he did next, I don't know. It could have just been, it could have been fucking anything. You know, we're really speculating over some a tragedy here at this stage. But,
Yeah. Yeah.
but like I said, it's interesting to change. If you change one parameter in that, you know, like what would have happened? What could have happened? You know?
Yeah. Would have all been different.
Absolutely.
Here we go.
Anyway, gentlemen, it's time for the main event. WrestleMania is close at hand. And we're here.
Yeah.
Hell in a Cell, triple threat.
It has taken 11 hours, but we've made it.
11, the playthrough has been 11 and a half hours. And it's been a long journey. It's been a long road. We've had bumps, a lot of fucking bumps along the way. But Shelton is the main event of WrestleMania. And arguably, again, going by considering that like this will be our last year controlling him, this is pretty much his last chance to win the World Championship. Unless something miraculous happens later on down the line.
I feel like it would be kind of cool if he failed here and then ended up in like your playthrough for like WWE 2K16. And like Shelton comes back from the Indies and gets the job done.
Yeah, he just he gets the Christian push.
Be great.
Yeah, I wouldn't say no to that. Absolutely not. I do wonder if this match would close this WrestleMania 22 or not. Because again, I have no point of reference to what the other feud is like on Raw.
Yeah.
But considering like Raw kind of got the dominion over the Rumble, I think it's fair that SmackDown gets to end the show, right? Like it's got the Hell in a Cell, for fuck's sake.
Brothers of Destruction, Hell in a Cell. I could see it.
Yeah. Like this is a Brothers of Destruction feud before it gets shit.
Yeah.
You know, because we did have a really shit Brothers of Destruction feud a few years later after this, when they got Paul Bearer out of mothballs.
They did some questionable shit now.
Yeah.
The 2010 they were still pulling that crack.
Yep, and they drew Teddy Long into it. They drew Punk into it. It was awful.
Yeah.
Really, really bad.
Oh, that was pretty awful.
Yeah. But considered like it was also the PG era as well. So you're trying to do like what they would normally do in Hell in a Cell with like blood, gore, and violence, but now everything's clean and everything's pretty and no one gets hurt. So it's like fuck off. Like don't.
Was it Kane or Edge wheeled Paul Bearer into a freezer and fucking left him there?
That was Edge.
So canonically, Edge is the one who's finally killed Paul Bearer.
I believe so. Yes. Yeah.
Wonderful.
That's a little feather in his cap now, isn't it?
One of the many people to have killed Paul Bearer.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
He's up to drive off his opponent, but all he succeeded in doing was double the number of superstars he would have to defend his title against here at WrestleMania. Yeah, but you know better than that. Don't ever count out the dead man. I'll bet he's still very much in the head of his opponent. And I wouldn't be shocked
23?
with the World Heavyweight title.
I know it's in the 22 arena, but this is the second time we've used it, is it not? Shelton, we've already done a Shelton Benjamin WrestleMania.
Oh, sorry. Yes, that's right. We had the Iron Man match with Angle, so we kind of
Yes.
we reasoned that was Mania 21
Okay.
as a kind of a hand wave. Yeah,
Okay.
we kind of said there was going to be a bit of crossover between the last 2 years. So while Booker was doing his thing on
Raw.
with Teddy Long and
Yep,
so forth,
yep.
we had Shelton whitewashing Kurt Angle on the same night.
And that's why Kurt is in TNA.
Yeah. Fucking banishing him to the fucking shadow realm. In fairness, it doesn't matter who you're up against. If you lose a submission match 8-0, you better fucking go.
Probably just
Like-
hang him up, like, yeah.
Better, yeah, just go.
There's got to be
Like,
better
you're grand.
endeavors.
Yeah.